Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another Cimmerian September installment of our favorite Cimmerian tonight, or this morning. I'm going to talk a little bit about rogues in the house. A barbarian, a nobleman, and a red priest trapped under a house. And the most honest among them is our favorite barbarian, Conan. The only thing keeping them out of the house is a bunch of treachery, traps, and this horrific scene. Let me see if I can get rid of that glare. There we go. Conan fighting the man-ape, the nameless man-ape. That happens to be the pet, slave, servant of the red priest. Don't want to give away too much, but what a story. And the whole time I'm, toward the end, I'm like, oh, that's what that painting is, I mean, I've read this stuff a million times, but it just occurred to me because it's literally been about a decade since I read this particular story, and it really hit home. This, I believe it's Frazetta. It could be... I can't find who did the painting, but I'm going to go with it's got to be Frazetta. But this is a really, really fun story. Conan, of course, shines through, still doing a bit of thievery, a bit of mayhem, a little bit of murder. But I was noticing in this book, that's why it's part of the video, a lot of people, especially most of the people I know, this was Conan. The Robert E. Howard, L. Sprague de Camp, and Lynn Carter, mostly L. Sprague de Camp and Lynn Carter, because I noticed that, it starts off with the introduction by the camp, letter from Robert E. Howard to P.S. Miller, which is also in the other book, The Hyborian Age, which I believe is in that book, although it might be a shorter version. Then The Thing in the Crypt, I don't recall that in this book. The Tower of the Elephant, of course, sure. Hall of the Dead, not in this book. And then Rogues in the House, The Hand of Nurgle, The City of Skulls, which I know appear later, but not in this book. The next story, let's go through. Hold on a second, the dog needs to be near me for some reason. Listen, you furry little booger. Come on. Just going to come in and sit down, not like he's going to come over and, try to jump in my chair or anything like that, like a good dog. No. The Frost Giant's Daughter and Queen of the Black Coast, which is weird because Queen of the Black Coast, as most of you remember, comes way later in this series. Way later. So maybe these aren't entirely chronological, but we'll find out because it's been even longer since I read these, because when I got them I just put them away for safekeeping, just thinking that they were this but in hardback form. But now I'm learning along with you guys a great deal about this particular Gnome Press edition. But yeah, I'm really surprised because, the Queen of the Black Coast is one of my favorite story arcs of Conan. One of the most tragic, elite. If you know, if you don't, you'll have to, hang out with us when we get to that here. And You know, eventually, if I have time this month, I'm going to try and reread this series, or at least the stories that don't show up in this chronological order, and find out why they're there, if they were just fragments or things like that. Because some of them, like the Hand of Nurgle, I know shows up later. The City of Skulls, also a great Savage Sword rendition, Savage Sword magazine. But I wanted to ask you guys, I have two options for part of Cimmerian September, and that would be to dive into the Marvel Comics versions of Conan, the color versions, or the Marvel Comics King Kull stories, which I'm pretty certain both omnibuses are full of made-up stories by the crew over at Marvel, and maybe Lynn Carter helped out a little bit here or there. But what would you rather have me talk about? Dive into the good old-fashioned just Conan the Barbarian comic books, or the King Kull, which take place much later when he's king of Aquilonia, and there aren't many of the King Conan the King, or King Conan, not Kull. That will be, if I do Kull, it'll be not in September. Just saying, I want to really try to get through all of these before the end of the month. That's the main goal, is to finish this up. But if I have any spare time, let me know what you'd like to see me talk about, and continue the discussions, as always, down below in the comment section. That's what I got for you today. I will be back tomorrow with something else. No idea what yet. Nothing's engraved in stone yet. But have a great week. It's almost fall. Just a couple more weeks. I've already looked at the weather report. It's already starting to drop by 10 plus degrees, which means fall will be here real soon, and then everything changes for us around here. And my game group is getting ready to prepare for October. So have a great week, folks. Love you guys, and I will see you in the funny papers.